tell me about your ambitions in tennis?
What do you mean?
When Coco Gauff walked off the court after winning the Wuhan Open finals, she didn't just collect a trophy, she reportedly walked away with a prize package worth $25 million. That's not a typo, $25 million, for a single tournament victory. And while Gauff celebrated with her team, another Grand Slam champion was allegedly seething behind the scenes. Aryna Sabalenka, one of the most dominant players on tour right now, was reportedly furious about the pay disparity. This isn't about jealousy between competitors. This is about something much bigger happening in professional tennis right now. Let's start with what actually happened in Wuhan. Gauff's victory at the finals was impressive, no question about it. She played with the kind of composure we've come to expect from her.
I think I just enjoyed the fact that, everything is on your racket, your terms. My first tournament that I won, I was 8, it was Little Mo in New York City. It was the first time that we felt like I could do something far in this sport.
But the real story broke when details of her compensation package emerged. According to reports from multiple tennis media outlets, Gauff's total earnings from the tournament, including prize money, appearance fees, and performance bonuses, reached that staggering $25 million figure. To put that in perspective, that's more than Pete Sampras earned in prize money during his entire 14-year career. More than Martina Navratilova made in her entire playing days. The numbers in modern tennis have reached levels that would have been unimaginable even 15 years ago.
I remember she's about 5 or 6 years old and we were watching Australian Open. Serena wins. I remember saying, man, she's going to be the GOAT. And she said, what is the GOAT? I said, that's the greatest of all time. She's like, I want to be a GOAT. So I ran out and bought a racket. That's kind of how it all started.
Now, Sabalenka has won 2 Grand Slam titles in the past 2 years. She's been ranked #1 in the world. By traditional tennis metrics, by wins and losses and rankings, she's arguably been the more successful player recently. But when it comes to endorsements, appearance fees, and these mega prize packages, there's a clear gap. And sources close to the Belarusian player suggest she's not staying quiet about it anymore. During a press conference shortly after the Wuhan finals, Sabalenka made what many interpreted as pointed comments. She said, sometimes in tennis, it feels like the focus goes to certain players regardless of who's actually winning the tournaments. She didn't mention Gauff by name, but everyone in that room knew exactly who she was talking about.
I grew up with the philosophy that sport can help you become a better person. And I want to be remembered as somebody who used their tennis to impact other people. I'll take that. These are the courts I grew up playing on. When I was a kid, my dad and I, we were looking for us or whatever, we'd probably be out here on this first court.
The Wuhan Open has become one of the most lucrative tournaments outside the Grand Slams. Chinese sponsors have poured enormous money into the event, and they're specifically interested in attracting star players who can draw international attention. Gauff fits that profile perfectly. At 21 years old, she's already a US Open champion. She has millions of social media followers. She's signed endorsement deals with Nike, New Balance, Barilla, and now Rolex. Her face appears on magazine covers from Vogue to Time. In pure marketing terms, she's what tournament organizers call a needle mover, someone whose presence alone can boost ticket sales and television ratings. But here's where it gets complicated. Tennis has always prided itself on being a meritocracy. You win, you earn. The ranking system is supposed to be objective. Prize money at Grand Slams is equal for men and women. Yet when you look at the total earnings picture, including appearance fees and endorsements, the playing field isn't level at all. Some players command appearance fees in the millions just for showing up to a tournament. Others, equally talented, get far less. Tournament directors will tell you privately that they have budgets for appearance fees, and they spend that money on players who sell tickets. It's business. But for players like Sabalenka, who feel they're putting in the work and getting the results without getting the same financial rewards, it feels like something else entirely. Let's talk about the specific breakdown of that $25 million, based on what tennis journalists have been able to piece together.
It's remarkable. She's the youngest qualifier in history, and now she's about to compete against her idol, Venus Williams.
It felt like a storybook.
Her game is so calm and so focused.
I just remember not looking at the scoreboard the entire match because I didn't want to see her name. The hardest points of the match were the match points. It felt like I was holding my breath. I don't want to be known as the girl who got closed.
The official prize money for winning the Wuhan Open finals was approximately $3 million. That's the public number. But Gauff's appearance fee for participating in the tournament was reportedly in the neighborhood of $5 million. That's what the tournament paid her just to show up and play. Then there are performance bonuses written into her contracts with sponsors, win a big tournament while wearing their logos, and those bonuses can reach 7 figures each. When you add up the prize money, the appearance fee, the sponsor bonuses, and the increased value of her existing endorsement contracts based on the win, you get to that $25 million total. Sabalenka, according to sources, earned roughly $6 million total from the same tournament path. Still a substantial sum, but less than a quarter of what Gauff took home. The difference isn't in the official prize money, where both players earned similar amounts for their respective finishes. The difference is in everything around the tennis. Sabalenka's appearance fees are reportedly much lower. Her endorsement portfolio, while solid, doesn't include the mega deals that Gauff has secured, and that's where the frustration comes from. For viewers who remember tennis from the 70s, 80s, or 90s, this might sound like a different sport entirely. When Chris Evert won Wimbledon in 1974, her prize money was £10,000. That's roughly $15,000. Even adjusted for inflation, we're talking about less than $100,000 in today's money. Martina Navratilova, one of the greatest champions in tennis history, earned about $21 million in prize money over her entire career. Steffi Graf made just under $22 million. These were the superstars of their era, and their career earnings wouldn't cover Gauff's payout from a single tournament in 2024. The money started getting serious in the early 2000s. Serena Williams became the first female tennis player to earn over $90 million in career prize money. But even Serena's biggest endorsement deals took years to build. She won her first Grand Slam in 1999, but didn't sign her first major multi-million-dollar endorsement contract until several years later. Gauff, by contrast, had major deals before she won her first Grand Slam.
I was 10 in this picture. It was a big deal because to tell somebody you're a national champion, they think you're legit. When I kind of made my name in the sport at Wimbledon 2019, this is one of the dresses that I wore throughout.
She was a marketing phenomenon before she was a champion. That's the new model. Sabalenka represents a different path. She came from Belarus, a country without the same media profile as the United States. She didn't speak fluent English when she first joined the tour. She built her reputation through power tennis and grit, winning matches with aggressive play and intense competitiveness. She's enormously popular with serious tennis fans who appreciate her game, but she hasn't crossed over into mainstream celebrity the way Gauff has. And in modern tennis, that crossover is where the real money lives. The frustration boiled over in the days after Wuhan. Tennis forums and social media were full of debates. Some fans argued that Gauff deserves every dollar because she brings more attention to the sport. Others said it's fundamentally unfair that results on the court matter less than marketability off it. A few former players weighed in. Tracy Austin, who won the US Open twice, posted on social media that tennis should reward tennis. That comment got thousands of likes and sparked even more discussion about where the sport is headed. There's also a broader context here that matters. Women's tennis has been fighting for equal recognition and equal pay for decades. Billie Jean King famously threatened to boycott the US Open in 1973 unless women received the same prize money as men. That fight was won, eventually, but it took years. Wimbledon didn't offer equal prize money until 2007. So when conversations about pay disparity come up now, even between female players, it touches on sensitive history. Some people see Gauff's massive earnings as a victory for women's sports. Others see it as evidence that the system still isn't fair, just in a different way. Sabalenka has her supporters among players too, though most are careful about what they say publicly. Tennis is a small world and players have to compete against each other week after week. But in private conversations, according to reporters who cover the tour, there's definitely tension. Some players feel the endorsement money and appearance fees are distributed unfairly. They see players getting huge deals before they've won major titles, while proven champions get overlooked. They see social media following valued more than Grand Slam trophies. And they wonder if the sport is heading in the right direction. Gauff, for her part, hasn't responded directly to any criticism. She's been diplomatic in interviews, saying she's grateful for the opportunities she's received and that she's focused on continuing to improve her game. Her team is reportedly aware of the controversy, but considers it mostly noise. They point out that Gauff has honored every commitment, promoted the sport tirelessly, and used her platform to support causes she believes in. She's not just collecting checks, she's building something. But the Wuhan situation has opened up a conversation that tennis might need to have. Should tournaments be paying massive appearance fees to some players and not others? Should the ability to sell tickets matter as much as the ability to win matches? Is this the natural evolution of professional sports in the social media age? Or is something fundamental being lost? There are no easy answers. Tournament directors will tell you they need star power to survive financially. Sponsors will say they invest in athletes who connect with consumers. Players want to be compensated for bringing value to the sport. All of that is reasonable. But when the gap between the highest paid player and other top competitors reaches this level, something feels off balance. For older tennis fans, the sport used to be simpler. You showed up, you played, you won or lost. Rankings determined seedings. Prize money was posted clearly for each round. Endorsements existed, of course, but they were secondary to the competition. Now the competition might be secondary to the endorsements. That's an uncomfortable thought for people who fell in love with tennis because it rewarded merit above all else. Sabalenka's anger, if the reports are accurate, speaks to a deeper issue than just one tournament payout. She's worked as hard as anyone on tour. She's won Grand Slams. She's reached #1. And yet, in purely financial terms, she's being out-earned by a substantial margin. That stings regardless of how much money you're already making. It's about recognition. It's about feeling valued for what you've accomplished. The question going forward is whether this controversy will lead to any actual changes. Will tournaments reconsider how they distribute appearance fees? Will sponsors look differently at which players they choose to support? Will tennis find a way to better balance rewarding on-court success with off-court marketability? Or will this just be another story that fades after a few weeks while the system continues as is? One thing seems certain: this conversation isn't going away anytime soon. The gap between tennis players in terms of total earnings is only growing. As long as that continues, there will be tension. And as long as there's tension, there will be players like Sabalenka who feel compelled to speak up, even if it makes things uncomfortable. So what do you think? Is Coco Gauff earning what she deserves based on what she brings to tennis, or is the system unfairly favoring certain players over proven champions? Do appearance fees and endorsement deals represent progress for the sport, or are they creating a two-tier system that undermines the competition? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story interesting, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos on tennis news and the stories behind the headlines. Thanks for watching.